Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I do apologize for the brief delay of the live stream tonight. It's the discrepancy happened because of the time change. We already changed to winter's day saving, or whatever you call it, time. It appears that you guys in the United States and in Canada and so on, you're gonna change it. Actually, the time of the event as well it's mixed up. Hold on a second. I'm gonna fix it. Well, I can't fix it now because it has already been started. So yeah, so you're gonna change it this week. All right. So with that said, we do have what we need to know, and Yasmin and Mattia, thank you guys for the $20 US, both of you. Thank you. You're gonna have your readings at the end of the stream, so let me put you into the list. And now the first thing that we're gonna do, that's going to be the collective reading. The cards for it I drew this afternoon. Horrible day, guys, by the way, if you do care, of course. Horrible day. It is what I am having currently. It's just nothing is going my way today. Just nothing is going my way. One thing went, but it was a small saving grace. Really small saving grace. So I do hope that you do have a better day today than me. Anyway, what do we need to know? The collective. I drew the cards this afternoon, and so I can put them on the thumbnail. And the cards are as follow. Now, the first one, that is the star card. Oops, the star card. The second one that we do have, that is the world. And the third card, we do have a 3 of Pentacles. So these cards emphasize on, so to speak, a personal growth, or in other words, the less people we do involve into our matters and as well, you know, our enterprises, pretty much the better. Reason being is because the star card with the 3 of Pentacles, as they stand, active enemies due to the elements of dignities, it pretty much means that it's very unlikely those which are involved, or we may want them to be involved, you know, in our enterprises, to be able to contribute in any meaningful way, whether through fruitful discussion, whether through a fruitful cooperation, or even support, you know. It is unlikely that it's going to produce kind of like sufficient results to justify the involvement of a third party or of a second party or whatever. But on the flip side, when it comes to our personal growth, it seems that things are going to ease up significantly. And when and as I do say ease up, I do mean that kind of like ordinary predicaments and things which are usually in our way are no longer going to be there. So I do hope that my damn luck, looking at those cards, is going to improve, and tomorrow I'm going to have a good news. And I do hope that this is going to be valid for pretty much every single one of us. And the good thing it is that as we do grow personally, whether in our love life or whether in our career, and when I do say our love life, this cooperation does exclude the significant one or the partner, meaning that these discussions and cooperations are with a third party. For example, one may hope, you know, that the common friend is going to help that relationship to grow. Not for the next few days. Okay, not for the next few days. Things needs to happen personally within the relationship. But bottom line is that personally we can hope in the next few days for what is the word? Unfolding one, maybe. Yeah, unfolding love when it comes to a love development, and as well a long prospect. Whether it is a long term or not, that depends on, you know, our decision, bottom line, because we may decide, no, I don't want to do that. But the prospect, it's a long term in term of a business development. And the good thing, or the best thing of all that, it is that because every single one of us has certain ideals, it has certain standards, right? And according to these cards, and that is the big thing that we do need to know, it is that at this point, at this fulcrum we do find ourselves in right now, those ideals and standards, they can be met. K-A-N, can be met, rather than can't. And for that series, we do have the World to the Star card here, okay, which is another active enemies as an elemental dignity. And there is only one message. For now, we do not need a new or a different perspective. We're just on track. And if it doesn't seem that way, again, probably it is because we do hope or does rely more on people that simply cannot help us right now. They not exactly help, but cannot contribute right now. Taco, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading, right? And put you into the list. All right. Hey, Angela. Yeah, it's been a while. Right, so this concludes the collective reading. A bit of a disclaimer now before I move forward, guys. Bear in mind, these are going to be readings for the star signs. And while these readings are going to affect you to a certain extent based on the star sign you're born under, your rising sign, your moon sign, your planets as well, they are also important. You should consider or take them as a guidance, okay? Rather than a concrete and direct answer to whatever questions or situations you do have. And if you do wish to have a reading over your personal situations, then you can go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see full list of my services, their pricing as well. So based on your budget and also your needs, you can go for whichever one does suits you best. And if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support this, you can do so via Super Chat or via PayPal, which link again you will find in the description down below. And anyone who does support the channel in the live stream is going to get a personalized reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed. So with that said, the first star sign that I'm going to read for, that is Aries. So let me put, you can track which star sign I'm reading for by the glyph which is on my right hand side here. So let me shuffle. Angela, thank you for the $20. Thank you, Angela. At the end of the stream, you are going to have your personalized reading. If you can't stay that late, you can watch the recording. The video is going to be available on YouTube, and yeah, you can navigate towards the end of the stream and find your reading there. Let me see if you do have any particular inquiry. No. So it's going to be personalized, personally for you, what you personally need to know right now. Right, Aries. First one, Eight of Cups. Second card, Ace of Swords. And the third one, that is the Seven of Swords. So these are how the cards do stand. Yeah. It's a kind of a peculiar reading, and it almost kind of feel like it's a peripheral. It's the best way how I can describe it here is because it kind of these cards do speak that not everything you hear or everything you learn it's going to affect the situations you are in right now. Okay. For example, you may hear that you aren't performing well at work, but that doesn't necessarily is going to affect your position at job, right? Or you may hear that, I don't know, a friend is disappointed of you. That doesn't mean that this is going to reflect on your friendship. In fact, according to these cards, there are going to be misplaced information or fallacies that are going to come your way. And bottom line here is just don't rush with your response right away. Okay, just don't rush with your response, especially if the response instinctively it is to sever, right? Sever relationship, sever job opportunity, and whatnot. Just hold on your horses for a while, for a few days, because you're going to see that that is just a temporary thing. Okay, just a temporary thing. And very quickly, the perspective is going to make a reversal, and you will see that the perspective is far, far better a few days from now. Okay. And charity, guys, that is another thing here. You will uplift opinion, if that matters, of course, to you, should you decide to help those around you, like colleagues, like friends as well. That is going to diminish the so to speak, the fallacies and the misplaced information significantly. Angela, the reading is done at the end of the stream publicly. So tomorrow, when you do have time, you can find the recording of the stream is going to be under the live section on the YouTube channel, and you can navigate towards the end where you will find the super chat readings, and you can find yours. Yours is going to be the fourth from the start of the super chat. All right, so Taurus next. Six of Swords. The Queen of Wands. And the King of Cups. Nothing comes easy. It is what those cards do speak. So, can I place it here? Well, in the next few days, there will be some kind of proposal or an offer. It could be multiple of them, okay, that are going to address you. And they will look and a piece of cake, okay, just a walk in the park, something very easy, something very can I put it into words, in a laid back fashion. And that is pretty much the reason why these offers, so to speak, these propositions are not going to have a huge impact toward the growth of you, or your growth, so to speak. Your growth, it's very related to the collective reading. It's a personal growth here. The Six of Swords with the Queen of Wands, it kind of emphasizes upon the personal astute sense of how things work. And doesn't matter what one person or another entity kind of like offers you or proposes you, what will be important is to follow that sense, your sense of what is working, how is working. That said, you're going to have it very, very, very sharpened. What I mean is that, for example, if you are introduced to someone, say at work, you are introduced to a client, or you're introduced to a mutual friend, all right? How can I put it into words? You have a friend, and that friend introduces you to their friend. Doesn't matter. Anyone new that you are introduced to, you immediately gonna know their weaknesses, their strengths, what they need, and what they are predisposed of. It's just instinctively you are gonna know, is that person good or bad? Can I do business with them or not? Can I flirt with them or not? And it will be very important to follow that sense. Why I'm saying that? Well, because with the Six of Swords, guys, it will be against the natural state. So you will know what you need to do, but instinctively that is going to go against your nature. That is how the Six of Swords pretty much operates. And this next few days are going to be days for you, Taurus, where you are going to actually kind of like set foot into a uncharted state, into a uncharted, so to speak, territories. And under states, I mean a personal state. And thus, afterwards, I mean, if you kind of like show courage here, even heroism in some cases, you will have a huge allowance afterwards, a huge allowance. Now, imagine it that way, okay? Just only thinking about what you want, it's not going to make it happen. You got to make some actions toward it, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. And next few days are the days of actions, of personal contribution toward what you want. Anna, thank you for the $20. Thank you, Anna. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading. Let me put you into the list. All right. Next. Oops. Gemini. You talk what are typing in a poetic fashion. Or at least that's what I know, that Dao and Di are a poetic forms of you. Thank you, mate. Don't ask, Anna. I mean, if you are asking about tarot, that's fine, but personally about me, as I already said, terrible day. One of the worst this year. The Emperor, it's the first one. Four of Cups. Queen of Wands. It's an indicator that things are about to get quite serious. Enough with the crap, enough with the bullshit, enough with the merry-go-around, so to speak, in one or another field. Merry-go-around within your love life or within your career. Next few days, what you need to know is that the situations that you are going to find yourself into, they are going to need a leader. They are going to need a someone with a firm hand, so to speak, with an iron glove to kind of like take the reins and point the steed. And you gotta show yourself to be that particular person. And another thing which is more like a guidance for you, Gemini, is that within the next few days, we are all human, right? You are a human as well, and you do have your weaknesses, but in the next few days, you should not show your weaknesses. You want to cry, that's fine. Go to the restroom, to the toilet, or just lock yourself at home so no one sees you, all right? You do have a, how can I put it into words? Yeah, weaknesses, like you are uncomfortable with something. It's very important that you do not show that something. Why is that the case? Well, because a lot of people will rely on you. A lot of people will look at you for a sense of stability and sense of reliability, so to speak. And if you do show weakness, people are very quickly going to start losing, let's say, faith in your capabilities to manage and to handle the situation. But that's what the cards are saying for you, Gemini. It is that things are about to get serious, and in a good way, because with the Emperor and the Queen of Wands, that pretty much speaks about prevailing. That is the exact word, prevailing, and the will to do so. But it will require discipline and an iron hand, like said. All right, next, Cancer. The Chariot. 9 of Pentacles. The Sun. Hold on a sec. So the Chariot and the 9 of Pentacles, this is a huge breakthrough, a huge triumph. Over a, it doesn't have to be just only over a competition. It is just a triumph in a sense of that you're about to make a very solid and tremendous leap into your development, whether a business development or whether a career development, a love development, I'm sorry. But the Sun to the Chariot, that is a almost unnatural, yeah, that is almost a unnatural, let's say, growth. What I mean is that this development could very likely to be on an expense of someone else, like taking the place of someone who toiled for it, or taking, you know, the person of interest of someone that kind of like tried to enthrall them. And it's not going to be your fault. It is just you will happen to be more accustomed, or rather like more qualified for the place, or that person is going to like you more, right? But it is just, it is not the natural development of yours. I don't know how to put it into words. But in the next few days, Cancer, just know that things are going to develop rapidly, almost in a natural fashion. And some of the places that you're going to end up, and other places I mean figuratively, okay, place at work or kind of like place in your love life, will feel, oh my god, so difficult to explain it, awkward. It's going to feel like you do not belong there. But nonetheless, are going to be places that, you know, you will grow in them. So happens, if it does happen that you end up finding a job or being employed next few days, you should know that this job can offer you a lot. Or same things go for a love and relationships. Should you happen that you do commit, you should know that that relationship can go for a long, long way. Hello, Yarbi. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Leo next. It's a great, by the way, it's a great few days if you plan, for example, to start a business or to buy something. Okay, it's just an acquisition. It's a great, at least according to the cards, that is. It's a great few days for to want to make an acquisition. The Tower. Got 10 of Swords. The Emperor. Okay, there are two ways how these cards can be read. One is that what you need to know it is that you have made a wrong choice and you will have to kind of like pay dearly for the wrong choice you made. And under a wrong choice, I mean an action or a decision that was irrevocable. And you haven't left an open door for a plan B or a plan C, if you will. That is one way how we can, how these cards can be read. And should that be the case, guys, just, you know, gnash your teeth and try to go through it as fast as you can. Now, the other way how we can look at those cards, though, is severance. Willingly quitting work or willingly quitting relationship, willingly quitting, for example, the place you live, because of the realization that, you know, you need something wider. I can't even say bigger. It's more of a wider, something more. In either case, for you, Leo, the situation is gonna call for mobilization. Okay, these are not the times, or these few days is not a time where you cling on hope. You rather cling on action, control, so to speak. Try to exert as much control as you can over, you know, your business deeds, your personal deeds above everything else, and also the deeds that matters the most. Because either way, something that had been built by you is about to go down. That's what you need to know, according to these cards at least. Okay, next, Virgo. Well, Anna, I heard many times from astrologers that actually when you are listening to your horoscope, it's actually for your rising sign. Okay, they don't say that because very few people know their rising sign, very few people know their exact hour of birth, and it's just not good marketing. But the horoscopes you read, okay, from YouTube channels or from papers, TV as well, they're actually for your rising sign. A horoscope for the sun sign cannot be made. There is no such thing, for as far as I know. Pisces Moonbeam can correct me if I'm wrong here. Five of Swords for Virgo. Oh my God, Tower. Queen of Pentacles. Give me a minute. So I messed something around. Hello, Deborah. Five of Swords and the Tower. That is a big reach. That is an overextension, which for the time being, that is only for the time being, you are going to get away with it. But it's going to come with a price. Under get away with it, I mean that you're not going to have to bear the negative consequences of the particular overextension and overreach. However, the price that needs to be paid is a neglect. What I mean is that there is going to be potential elsewhere, but you are, if you go for the extension or for the overextension, you're not gonna be able to develop that potential. And a very trivial example here, you know, you may find that currently you do have a lot of potential in a dating endeavor you have recently started. That is just for example, okay? But you see a window of opportunity at work. You know that this window is a bit of a, can I put it into words? It's a bit of a stretch, but you go for it anyway, and it's gonna work. Okay, it's gonna work out, but you are gonna have barely time for yourself, let alone for your dating. So it's a sacrifice that you will have to make if you decide to go for that overextension or overreach, so to speak. But nonetheless, here, Virgo, what do you need to know, guys? It is that no matter what, it's not like no matter what, because you can always decide to kind of like withdraw, but you do decide to push forward. Next few days are going to be very fruitful in a sense of that there will be winnings, so to speak. It is just anything you touch can work out, but it's, again, it will be on a cost of a different potential. So they can be made for the sun signs. Interesting. All right, Libra next. The Empress. Seven of Cups. Seven of Swords. I love when these two cards comes up. I mean, the Empress and the Seven of Cups. It's a pretty simple message in between these two cards, and the message is that whatever plan B for the far future, it's accomplishable. Not for the near future, but for the far future. You may have planned that in far future you're gonna have a business or that you're going to have a family, okay, but what you are planning now. Okay, it doesn't work like you hear the reading and you immediately plan something that it haven't crossed your mind currently. Okay, like for example, winning the lottery. But whatever plans one made for the far future, you Libra, achievable. Okay, I mean they can be manifested. That is what you need to know. And the path is paved through a mutual benefit. That is the other thing. What I mean is that not just only cooperation, but the goal of your plans needs to be not emerge. What is the word? Embedded. Okay, let's use that word. Embedded with the goal of someone or a something else, and under something else I do mean organization. Okay, so it's a cumulative effort where everyone, as they do have their own agenda, these agenda meet. So it will be very important to start making connections, building alliances, okay, and in generally forming teams or a team. As far as it goes in term of love, next few days are going to be very important for you to create a comfortable rather than a dramatic environment, right? Making drama and kind of like constantly I don't know, harping about one or another thing, just only gonna make things worse. Okay, next, Scorpio. Eight of Cups, Five of Pentacles, the Moon card. All right, for Scorpio, I don't know if those cards are reflecting me, to be honest, because it's like they're singing, okay, guys, they are singing, and the song isn't good, at least for now. But the message and what do we need to know, it is that it's just, you know, temporary. I mean, it's gonna get better. And in fact, these unpleasant circumstances we are going through right now, you know, one some people are gonna have less unpleasant, others more unpleasant, but those unpleasant circumstances we are going through right now, they are important. I don't know why, but they are important for our development. Well, the cards kind of like gives a hint why. There are certain aspects in the lifestyle we do have that we need to work on. Not necessarily change, but we do need to work on. So currently we may find ourselves in a unpleasant, unfortunate situation, position, status as well, but the future holds a kind of like a better perspective, so to speak. And these cards touch as well on the negative emotions and negative feelings, particularly feelings of not knowing why and when. Kind of like not knowing what you are going to do, not knowing how things are going to turn out, kind of like feeling emotionally disrupted and what is the word here? kind of like that fuzzy feeling that something is wrong, you know, and that things aren't going okay. Well, that is because there are yet some circumstances to happen which we are unaware of, and because there are pieces missing, that's why we are feeling kind of like on the edge, so to speak, or on edge. But this is going to kind of like fix itself. Okay, important thing here is not to back down on the recent decisions that we have made, whether to start or leave a job, whether to start or leave a relationship, and so on and so forth. That's what we need to know, is that the recent decisions we made, they were the right choices to be made. All right, next, Sagittarius. The Fool, the Hermit, Three of Wands. It's a challenge in a good way. Okay. What do I mean? Well, most likely will manifest in Sagittarius' business or career. Why? Well, because the circumstances under which this challenge is going to emerge are as so. You know, when you do something all the time, like at work, when you do your job all the time, eventually you grow to happen to be expert in the job you're doing, building up experience, okay, building up, if you will, brain and muscle memory, and so on and so forth. And eventually one becomes very efficient and very skilled at the job or at the particular tasks that one is accustomed to. And this is exactly where the challenge emerges. Now these tasks are going to be a secondary to what comes next, because they're going to be a new task, new project, new job that's going to be bigger. Okay, it's going to be from the same nature of what we are accustomed to, or I'm saying we because I do have a huge stellium in Sagittarius. What we are accustomed to, but it's going to be bigger. It will require more concentration, it will require more skill, more dedication, and it will offer a bigger results. And while it's going to be from the same nature, we do have a lot to learn from it. And actually, I do love having the Hermit, next to the Fool card, because these two cards, in that's when the Three of Wands, it's next to the Fool as well. Okay, actually the three of them, let me show them to you like this. Okay. Tells us a couple of things now. First, completely optional. This is an optional challenge, but it will be a good thing to take it. Okay, the very least is going to bolster Sagittarius' creativity, is going to enrich thy muse, and it will allow Sagittarius to meet new people. And eventually, but in the future, okay, is going to put a predisposition for a new beginnings, like new job, new business, and so on and so forth. And the second thing, it is that failure is not going to be important. What I mean is that if you Sagittarius fail into this challenge, that is not going to affect your current state, meaning that your job is safe, your relationship is safe, and so on and so forth. So literally there is no reason why one should not take on the challenge, because one can only win from it. One can only gain from the challenge itself. All right, next, Capricorn. Page of Cups, Five of Wands, Six of Cups, it's more of a advice than what you need to know. And there is a commingle. Okay, there is a commingle. Situations and events are, their influence is commingling with other with situations and events of another nature. Okay, for example, the influence that your personal life is having is commingling with your job, or a vice versa, and that is something that needs to be stopped. That is pretty much the advice and the guidance. And for example, if you are feeling threatened at work, it isn't because, at least according to these cards, it isn't because the threat is real, but it is because something from a different field is kind of like making you think that, how can I put it into words, making you think that things are uncertain. For example, okay, and that is a very grim example. I do apologize, but it is the first thing that came to my mind. Say that your partner leaves you, okay, your love partner leaves you, and instinctively that this is going to commingle with the security of your work, and you may think that tomorrow you are going to be also let go of job, which is not going to happen, but still that influence, that poignant experience that one has from a different field is going to transfer into the more secured field. And the way, at least according to these cards, how you can manage this, how you can handle these situations, is to focus more on the overview rather than to be fixed on the details, currently on the minor details. And also kind of like, not like lower your goals, but have your goals to make sense in a way that there is no conditions which are uncertain. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, for example, to have a goal that requires your boss to leave while your boss doesn't have any intentions to leave right now. Okay, so that's not a goal that you should chase currently. You should chase a goal that it's with the current assets that you do have can be accomplished. That is how you do kind of like fix that state of insecurity, so to speak. All right, next, Aquarius. Queen of Wands, Two of Wands, Justice. It's pretty simple for Aquarius. There is a person or an entity that wants to, let's put it that way, grow with you. With this person or an entity, there are results in between you two. Maybe you have done a good job with them, or rather like you have completed some kind of a contract with them, or it's just, you know, you dated a couple of times and you had a really good time, both of you. Bottom line is that with this person and with that entity, there is a certain level of progress, but this is just scratching the surface. Okay, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more that can be accomplished in that direction, in that narrative, in that regard, so to speak. And you shouldn't stop. Okay, not give yourself any excuses, because having the Justice next to the Queen of Wands, in general in this Elements of Dignity, it kind of speaks that, because it is your reading Aquarius, it kind of speaks that you need to make an accountable choice what you are going to do about that. Okay, and once you do so, whether that choice is go forward or not, you will get what you choose for. So that isn't, my point here is this isn't the time to play a game. Okay, this isn't the time where when you say no, you actually mean yes. Okay, that needs to be an accountable decision. And when you say yes, I want to, that means yes, you want to. If you say no and you do expect that the other person is going to read your mind and is going to say, oh, they say no, but they actually mean yes. That isn't the case here. You say no, you ain't gonna see or hear from that entity or this person again. The compatibility is huge, and again, is gonna be a shame, a big shame, if you do not develop the potential or expand on the results you have thus far accomplished with that individual or with that entity. And last but not least, we do have Pisces. Queen of Cups, King of Swords, the Hermit. It's a huge exception. So what we do have, it's again an individual or an entity here. The Queen of Cups, it's a prime card. And they will make an exception for you. And it's a big exception for them. So the reason why that exception is going to take place is going to be different. For some of you, it's going to be because they are friends of yours. For others, it is because they see, you know, that's kind of like your case is special. But whatever the case here, the exception is going to actually resolve a lot of issues of yours. This is going to be like a pass. Okay, like this entity or this person is giving you a carte blanche. He's giving you a pass to move forward, and a big portion of that exception is going to have to do with a support. That person is gonna, or an entity is gonna stand by your side, is going to have your back where no one else can or have a will to do so. So what you need to know here, Pisces, is that in your grievous moment, in your darkest place, you do have the ally that actually is going to save the day. So that is for you. Alright guys, so that was for the 12 star signs. And now the super chat readings. So the first one that is going to have the reading, that will be Yasmin. All right, Yasmin, those are your cards here. Let me see if you can see the cards here. And they speak about a conflict. You need to know that a conflict is coming about. It's gonna be with a man. That conflict is going to be with a man, which I don't think that they currently have a impact on your life. So that is unlikely to be your current boyfriend if you do have one, or a person you're working with and whatnot. That looks like more of an appearance of a man that you're gonna have a conflict with. And bear in mind that that could be anyone. You may have a business in a, I don't know, in a government institution, and just you may end up kind of like being served by a jerk and having conflict with that particular employee of the government that happens to be a man. And the nature of the conflict is going to be because you will be, how can I put it into words? Some of the information that you are entitled to is not going to be disclosed. Okay. And this information is going to have to do with what you can make use of. And when you find out about it on a later stage and on a later date, this is when actually the actual conflict is going to ensue. So that is what you need to know. And bear in mind that it's not going to be a big deal. All right, next is Mattia. Those are cards for you, Mattia. It's a friends making cards. So it does look like that you are, what you need to know is that you are about to make a lot of, well, I don't know if there are going to be a lot of friends, but enough of friends to feel a bit overwhelmed at some point. And pretty much the friendships that are going to emerge, they will, for the most part, how can I put it into words? The interaction is going to be either through phone calls or through social media. And can I put it into words? These friendships are going to make your life a little bit more, so to speak, versatile or interesting as well. And additionally to it, these friendships are going to contribute to your happiness. So in the next few days, kind of like prepare yourself to meet a few new people or several new people. And bear in mind, these are a potential for friendships. So whether you're gonna let these people in or not, that is entirely up to you. But according to the cards, highly advisable here, because you will have the tendency to contribute for each other's happiness, meaning that you will contribute for their happiness, and vice versa, they are going to contribute for your happiness as well. All right, next, Taco. I don't know, Taco, if you are waiting for an inheritance, or because it could be read in two ways. So those are your cards, okay, and it's a decisive move. So the cards are speaking about decisive move. That is what you need to know, that this is nigh, and it's either about acquiring a home, or it's either about securing an inheritance. It's more likely to be an acquiring a home or changing a place of living, and it's kind of like it's a decisive move about that. And what you need to know it is that the right move will kind of like be obvious. So just kind of like don't go against yourself. That is the important thing. When you make up your mind, make sure that you are harmonious with what you made up your mind about. Okay, that is what the cards are. This nigh. Well, I don't know how nigh, but it is nigh. I mean, for the move itself. Okay. Um, when, however, the whole thing is gonna wrap up, I don't know. Well, pretty much, this decisive move is going to um, strive the endeavor in almost a indomitable direction. So once that move is done, it's only a matter of time. The whole thing to be wrapped up. All right, next, Angela. You're welcome, Taco. Angela, is those cards. And it may sound strange, but according to them, they do relate. I do believe that it's the beauty, because they do relate to how you present yourself into the world, or in other words, what you do in order to make an impression, in order how others sees you, and also building up a name. And what you need to know about that is that you are getting a bit too extreme with it to a certain point. Okay. And it will be a good thing if you kind of like know your limits, or acknowledge, not know, you know your limits, but acknowledge your limits. Now, aside from that, they do speak about another thing, and this is a like a peacemaker. What I mean is that in the next few days, you're going to have the unique, so to speak, opportunity or a position to unite two fighting forces under the common cause, which is going to be your cause and their cause as well. And through that, you will get a lot of care. I mean, these two forces, or these two entities, so to speak, are going to start caring for you. It could be as well families, two factions within the family fighting amongst one another to kind of like split the inheritance, for example, and you happen to unite them under a common cause about the inheritance, and these factions start caring for you. Either way, Angela, it does look like that's whatever you kind of, how can I put it into words? Whatever you bestow upon yourself as a target, it's going to be accomplishable, but you need to ask yourself on what cost. Okay, on what cost? Because clearly, according to these cards in tarot, there is overstepping of certain boundaries that's it will cost you. As a personal standing, it will cost you. I mean, oh, and one last thing, it's important whom you are placing your trust with as well, because it does look like that some of your trust may be betrayed. So next few days, trust your healthy sense of mistrust, if you ask me. All right, and last but not least, that will be Angela. Not Angela, but Anna. Those are your cards, Anna. Here. And they relate to one of your children. I know that you do have children, more than one, I believe. And to one of your children. And they don't tell you everything. Okay, I mean, one of your children isn't telling you everything. They do have something that they're hiding, and you're going to find out about it. Isn't something awful or bad or anything like that. Okay, it's just, it may kind of like get you a bit unprepared. Okay, and the result of that it is that you're not going to be as independent as you are, at least for say a few days, or maybe a few weeks. But other than that, you know, there won't be anything bad that is going to take place. Now, for example, just for example, I don't know if your children are going into school. I know that they're still young for that, but for example, you know, your child or the child may have scored F at school and kind of like kept that from you. And at some point, you know, the teacher calls you and say, hey, you know, I mean, your son or your daughter, they aren't doing very well at school, you know. But if you ask your son or daughter, they're saying, oh, I'm fine, all right, I'm just killing it there. You know, what are you talking about? It's already dead, all right? It's already dead. You're almost out. Anyway, so don't freak out, okay? It's just this revelation, so to speak, is going to catch you unprepared for it, but it's not. But it isn't something kind of like bad, you know. There isn't anyone hurt. That's my point here. And the guidance of the cards is just don't get mad, right? Just don't get mad. Take it as a champ, and try to kind of like ensue comfort and trust within the child, in a sense of that whatever happens, okay, they can always tell you, because mommy is never going to be mad at me. So mad that, you know, is going to ensue fear in me. And that is what you need to know. Just be prepared to be surprised by one of your children about a thing they did. For example, I don't know how to put it into English, you know, but kind of like not a bad thing, but a inappropriate thing, let's say it that way, that they did, or they're about to, and just you gotta take it. That's the best way how you can go about it. Other than that, personally, Anna, next few days, not very good days to make our choices about how to act about one or another thing, because according to the cards, currently the available options, none of them is going to be not exactly perfect, but none of them is going to be an option that simultaneously is going to make good results and is going to be something that you would like. It's going to be better to just wait for a while until better options show up on the horizon. And so with that, guys, this is going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity. And we're going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.